Folks, today we're cooking pastured Oregon Angus ribeye steak from United Harvest. I lose my words having to talk about it because I actually get excited because I know the end result, because the product is of absolute integrity. Now it's grass-fed, as I said, pasture raised, and it's also, for the last 4 months, it's fed potatoes, and that brings this wonderful creamy marble effect into the meat, which essentially brings greater integrity to the flavor and the texture. Now, before we start cooking, let me show you how I go about setting up for a cooking station. Very easy, keep it simple, and always keep a clean workspace. First of all, when you place the chopping block on the bench, I use a wet paper towel. Let me show you why. We don't want to have the sliding, it's dangerous. Cutting around, you'll cut yourself. Nice damp paper towel, place it on top. Can't move it, okay? Perfect. Big cast iron pan, nice and thick too, because the thickness of the base will maintain the heat. I love cast iron, I actually love this brand. I believe it's one of the, possibly the oldest brand in America, Lodge. I think they're brilliant. Salt flakes, pepper. I love a good mortar and pestle. Garlic in case I need it. Olive oil. Our steak. Our knife. And a bloody good glass of red wine. Cheers. Before I unpack this beautiful cut, I just want to explain something to you. It comes straight from the butcher, vacuum sealed, least amount of oxygen, and therefore flash frozen straight after that. And when it gets delivered to your door, you thaw it out, you open it up, just like so, of course. Goodness me, that is brilliant. That's like straight off the bone. Very juicy. This is your personal preference. You can wash it under cold water, not hot. Hot will tend to cook it on the outside. We don't want that yet. Or simply pat it dry. Look at that. Look at that. This meat is so beautiful. It's so soft. It's extremely well marbled. That marbling, as I said before, is from the potato finish. All I'm going to do is heat up the pan, allow it to be very hot, and whilst I'm heating up the pan, I'm going to season it, sit it for a minute, and that'll draw out a little extra flavor, and then we'll cook it off. What we're going to do now is we're going to season the meat. I love having it seasoned with just a lovely salt flake and pepper. When it comes to pepper, I love using white peppercorns. What I do is I roast them off in a pan and I place them in a mortar and pestle and I grind them down. In this case, I'm going to keep it nice and coarse. I'm heating up my pan. Remember, I'm using a cast iron pan, so it takes longer. It's thick, it's durable, it's heavy. Salt and pepper, massage it in just gently. And the salt is going to draw out some of the lovely flavors of the meat. What happens when you salt meat, it will start to sweat. And when it starts to sweat, you don't want to wash that off. That's integrity. That's the flavor right there. So that's almost like a part of the marinade. Here's my roasted, ground down white peppercorns. And to me, the fragrance is incredible. The fragrance is, it almost smells like a barbecue meat already. How do I know that the pan is hot enough and ready? Not yet. I want it to really sizzle and sear and spit. I have cold water on my hands. Nice little hiss, like a pissed off Australian snake. A lot of the times I use avocado oil or grapeseed oil when I'm cooking at high temperature. But with this particular cut of meat, it's so beautiful. Like I said, the fat is so wonderfully marbled. and the integrity of the farm and the farmer and the meat itself. Drizzle a little olive oil, and now you can see it looks lovely. A little marinade there, sweating off. What I'd like to have as a result on each side is for the peppercorns to be golden and the meat to be sealed very nicely. Nice golden brown. You can see the fat here is lovely and white and creamy. That's from the potatoes being fed to the cow for the last 4 months. I can see the blood is starting to appear, just lightly. The first turn, look at that, wow. Bloody sexy, eh? I'm happy with that. We're ready to turn her off. With my finger, I'm testing it. She's about medium. I'm going to rest it on the chopping block here. And look at that. One side is more caramelized than the other. I'm going to place this side on the bottom. What it's going to do is it's going to soften. And I want it to soften because it'll have wonderful flavor and texture. Until that softens underneath, I'm going to flip it around, and then we're going to have that wonderful texture and flavor on the top, that caramelized color. The reason why I'm sitting it to rest is because I want it the meat is so tense from being in a hot pan. I want it to rest, I want it to relax, and I want the juices to flow when I slice it open. And we all know what a bloody good rest is. It's also a bloody good drop. It's ready, well rested. You see the beautiful juices that are coming off from resting that caramelization right there. Bloody lovely. Beautiful rose pink in the center. I'm just going to plate it up now. That's it. Simple, delicious, nutritious.